All right, I thought we'd take a break from machining in the shop and drive down to Windsor, Colorado, which is about 2 hours from where I'm at, up in Silverthorne, and visit a company called EarthX. EarthX makes lithium batteries. Yes, it is that light. It's actually kind of spooky how light these are. Anyways, I've been using the EarthX battery for about 6 or 7 years, I believe. I have had fantastic luck with it. I did buy a second one before my Cuba trip because I just wanted to make sure. The first one was coming up 5 years old. I did have another lithium battery before that. I don't want to say any anti-words against that company, but I did not have luck with that lithium battery. It let me down and stranded me twice. And when I talked to one of the representatives of the company, they told me it was the charging system of my bike was faulty, which is not the case. My charging system is perfect. So anyways, I've been with EarthX ever since, and I am down here at their factory, like I said, in Windsor, and we're going to go in there and visit them, and they're going to test my battery, make sure it's up to snuff, and I'm going to be good for my big trip. So let's go on in. This apparently is their nice new building. And I've been here before, just when they last moved in. It's been a few years. Let's find out if anything's changed. Oop. Ding dong. All right, I'm in the EarthX factory here with, who's this guy?
Bailey.
And Logan. Logan, you are the...
production leader here and technician at our shop, so scheduling all our builds, making sure it's built up to quality, and people are getting good batteries.
Right on. Well, that's why we're here. This is, as I was telling him, this is the battery that I've had since 21. I have not had any problems with it, but I figured, like I said, I'm going on a big trip. So we're going to, you're able to basically kind of run a couple of tests on it, make sure it's up to snuff.
Better safe than sorry, right?
Yeah. So what's the plan to test it?
First test we'll do it as if it was being assembled, and we'll throw it on our assembly table over there and do that first load test where it'll put a load on the battery. Well, it checks the voltage, puts a load on it, make sure it recovers from that load, and then make sure it actually accepts charge current as well. So, all right. Yeah, we could bring on over that first station over there.
And I'd love to talk to you about some of the new generation batteries you had, because I think I'm one behind.
Yeah, and we're always making minor improvements on our stuff, just things we find throughout the years, and we call it Gen 2 just because we've actually have had those upgrades in there for a bit now. It's just we finally released it with the name, and I mean we got just better short circuit protection, cranking protection, just protecting your asset basically.
Well, and that's actually, let's do the test, and then I'd love to kind of get a tour of the technology that I appreciate, and the battery, and the others would probably want to hear about it. Yeah. So what are we doing here?
Basically what we would do, it almost be something like this, where we got our pack, we put it in our case here, throw it on the table.
Oh, so this is a production table.
Oh yeah, so what we'll do is actually, we had one last one there. So this is our first station here, and this is our load test. So you kind of see right here, that's how it does, and set for the 36C right now.
All right. So you are loading my battery as we speak.
Right.
All right.
Oh, come on.
I don't hear any popping or snapping or load test.
Oh yeah, it's nice and charged right now too. So
I ran the bike yesterday.
Oh, perfect.
I just pulled it off this morning.
Yeah. Post volts are looking good, and that last charge station, it's actually that charger right there, just making sure that it's actually going to take a charge. And once that comes on, usually it'll take a minute, but then we move it to that. That's a gluing station. We won't do that because it'll make the case very ugly.
Interesting.
And then those are all charging stations.
All right.
And this is that last station, just letting us know when it's charged, and drives around here until it makes its way back around.
All right. But all we're doing is the
load test. And after this, we'll do the internal resistance, just making sure it still has that cranking power, and that's what that little green hand.
Now I have noticed on like my old battery, even though it was still functioning 100%, and you guys even tested it, there's a little bit of swelling, which everyone has seen with this type of battery.
Right.
But be your phone or this one. What are we seeing when we see that?
So with every charge and discharge cycle, there's these little air pockets that are created, essentially. It's very minimal, but over years and years of charging and discharging, it will slightly expand, and that's what you're seeing there. It's just age, swelling. It's nothing.
Okay. It's technically not a sign of the battery is failing or
it's just some age. It's just been through the years, and yeah.
Gotcha. But like in my phone where I've seen that the swelling physically can damage the internals of the phone.
Oh yeah. So
that's where you see a phone fail of the swelling. But in our battery case, it's not harming anything around
that too.
it.
And actually the ones on the phones are different chemistry than the ones we have here. So these are lithium iron phosphate, where the ones usually in your cell phone, those are lithium cobalt. And I don't know if you've seen those Samsung videos on YouTube, but where people have had their phone battery combust. And that's because lithium cobalt's not as stable. Iron phosphate is super safe, because everyone always asks, do these batteries explode? These are the ones that explode, and we always have to tell them these ones do not. So if the thermal runaway event they have, all it does, it just produces a vapor for about 5 minutes, and once the battery's drained,
that's it. There's no explosion, there's no boom, there's no smoke, fire. I mean, it is adventure biking that I'm using it on, so that would be an adventure, but I'm going to pass on that adventure of smoking. That's great. And how do we do on the test?
Looks like we passed, so
excellent. That's passed. All right. Cool.
All right. So say we run it all the way around, glue it, charge it. Comes back here. We just obviously do another inspection, making sure the case did glue well.
Oh, sure.
And then, we'll go back to over where we were.
Yep.
And so once it's all through here, this is where all the labeling and the final assembly does. But yeah, with each battery, we actually do this little battery tester. And what it does is test the internal resistance, tell us if it's good. So the amp hour, we just have to round to the closest. Yours is about 10. We give it a test. It'll tell us right here. Good. Yep, internal resistance is still looking great.
Is that something that you would see go quick, or is it a degradation?
It's a degradation over time. Okay. So, because people ask us too, like I was on the phone with someone today who's on year 10 with his, and he's like, when do I need to swap this out? And that's what I tell people. It's just, you're going to notice the cranking power. It'll get a little sluggish over time, and when you see it start to decline, that's a good time to think about replacing it, because lithium, it gives you 100% of what it can until it can't.
Until it can. Okay.
Exactly.
Now, speaking of, you guys, when I picked you guys many years ago, you had some technology that no one else had.
Yeah.
And the two that I remember and appreciate was the short circuit protection.
Yep.
So if I took my wrench right now and dropped it over these two terminals, what would happen?
Well, you'd see a quick spark, but then we have an internal switch in this guy right here where it will disconnect the pack from these terminals to save, again, like your asset, your money that you paid for that, and about a 3-minute timer, and then it resets on its own, and you're good to go.
You're good. So you can drop a wrench on there all day, wait 3 minutes, you're back in action.
Wouldn't recommend doing it over and over, but you definitely can.
I think that's great. I mean, if you've seen motorcycle installations, they're usually tight.
Yeah.
Mine's tight, and there's wrenches and screwdrivers bouncing around in there, so that's great. And then I think, and again, tell me more if there's more to it, but there was a second protection I appreciated, which was at a certain voltage, I think it was 10 point something, it shuts off.
Yeah.
So, because at 10 point something volts, I'm not turning my starter motor anyway, so I don't care that the battery is going, you know what, I'm going to shut down, and it keeps it from dropping below that 10, which damages it?
So the chemistry, when the 10 volts on a lithium is actually like 1 to 2% of battery left. Oddly enough.
Oh, all right.
So that's what our cutoff, once it drops below 11, it cuts it off.
And why do we want that cutoff then?
The chemistry, when they get that low, when you recharge the cells, the chemistry it gets a little altered, and the cells can become imbalanced recharging, so you can maybe overcharge and undercharge a little. We actually do have a whole cell balancing circuit in there, though, where it'll, during on charge up, it'll balance those cells out. On recharge, so that same thing, you don't want a cell misbalance, because it'll mess with your cranking. And
I love the other one I love from a package standpoint is your terminals are symmetrical. If you notice, when their terminals are in the middle of the battery, all you have to do is move these copper bars or brass bars to left or right, depending on which side you want your left and right.
Whatever works best for you, right? So because a lot of those standard lead acid motorcycle batteries, they are on the front like this.
Correct.
So
and you got to order the right one, or you got a problem.
And that was the idea with these, is just make it more user friendly for people and be able to put it in.
Okay, so Lou, one thing also that I was impressed with EarthX is you guys actually your start in these batteries is aeronautical. Is that correct?
So actually, did start in power sports.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and our founder, our boss, Reg, he started getting phone calls about people saying they want to use them in their airplanes, and so that's how that line kind of started. And now it's our most popular market now over the power sport. So
is aeronautical, right?
Yeah.
And I figured my take on it is if you guys can make batteries accepted by the plane guys, I'm assuming that the plane guys must have safety, quality, reliability.
Exactly.
Planes cannot do funny things in the air when it comes to electronics. And so if you apply that same technology into my motorsport.
Exactly. And you're on the ground.
And you're on the yeah, exactly. Bad things can still happen.
Right.
But no, you guys, exactly. So I'm guessing that a lot of the batteries we're seeing here are going into planes?
Exactly, yeah. So
yeah,
we got a few going on right now, like our 680-24s. This is one of our, we have 3 different batteries in this case size. This one is our 1200, which is our biggest in that size.
And this would go into a plane?
Oh yeah, I could start at 550 up to, I don't have the list in front of me, but it's that one's got the 1200.
Like how many cylinders? I only know cylinders when it comes to planes. How many?
I don't know at this point. Cylinders at this point. I know engine sizes.
All right.
But
like is this Cessna? Is this, I'm not a plane guy.
Cessna,
is this, what size planes are we?
That one, so it's still smaller aircrafts.
Okay.
Usually maybe 4-person ones. I mean, I could be wrong. I know there's just so many out there.
Gotcha.
We started getting our STCs for some of those certified airplanes where our Cirrus, if I recall, or no, Cirrus, maybe Cessna. Sorry, I got Cirrus and Cessna mixed up, I think. But some 150s, some 170s.
Okay. Nice, man. Yeah, like I said, if the plane guys dig it, holy cow. Yeah, they don't screw around up in the air.
No, I mean, we hear all the time, the startup speed with one of those compared to their lead acid is like night and day. I mean, it'll turn that proper right up.
And I'll tell you what, the only time I ran into, which is the classic with these batteries, the lithiums, is I put my bike, I was doing a cold start test on a motorcycle. Yeah. Put it outside in Colorado, up in Summit County, overnight, like -5. And sure enough, the next morning, I had nothing on the start.
Right.
I did everything what I heard, which was I turned on my high beams, turned on whatever, as much stuff as I could.
Right.
Counted to 30. It worked fine.
Yeah.
Started the bike.
Yeah.
And that's typically how it works, right?
Exactly. So it's really nice with those cold starts. Even if you could get, the lights running, just some current flowing through those packs, they warm themselves up.
Correct.
And that's what will give them that back to their normal cranking power.
And there's no damage done.
No. We even tell people if you can, depending how cold it is, like if you just crank it for a couple seconds real quick and then just let it sit for 45, it should be good your next startup.
All right. So. And then also there was... there's a situation where we talked about that safety circuit. When you drop below 10 whatever volts, it turns itself off.
Right.
If you go to charge it again on your trickle charger in your garage, or which should be a lithium certified charger. Correct?
Right. You don't want to use any charger that has the main thing is that desulfate mode. Okay. It's that pulse voltage.
You don't want desulfate.
You don't want to, just because it's not going to, in an emergency, it's fine.
Okay.
But if it is your constant maintainer, you have it on there all the time, you're going to shorten the life out of that battery.
So what I'm hearing is I can use a charger, any charger, as long as it doesn't have the desulfate function in it.
It doesn't charge above 14.6 volts as well.
And going back to the shut off, so if it's shut off and I put my trickle charger on there, it's actually not charging until I turn it back, until I switch it back on. Don't I have to apply 12 volts or what?
It depends how low it really drains. Usually if it's a quick turnaround, say you left the key on, you come back, you throw the charger on it, it can it should just reset on its own. If it was sitting a little bit and it did discharge a little more, because it'll still discharge. Every battery has a self-discharge rate, right? And then you can put another 12-volt battery in parallel, throw the charger on the EarthX, leave it hooked up for about 45 seconds, and that circuit will reconnect, and then you...
Got it. But that's only if you absolutely flatten it, long period.
Exactly.
Gotcha. And I think a lot of the jumper boxes now I've seen have they must have a, not a diode, what do you call it? It holds current for...
A fuse?
Not a fuse, it'll, capacitor. I think it's
really?
capacitor based.
Oh,
and it'll apply enough voltage.
Oh, yeah,
not a
that
lot,
makes sense.
And to turn it on, and then on the jumper box itself.
Okay.
I've seen that. So
yeah,
okay.
but yeah, any jump pack too, you can do as well, because ours, we have one ourselves, and I mean, all you gotta do is hook the terminals up to that, and
okay,
we'll be good to go.
Right. And again, these are all mythical things you hear on the internet, right?
Yeah.
So my motorcycle's flat. I need to jump it.
Yep.
A guy in a pickup truck shows up
Right.
with a set of jumpers in his hand.
Yeah.
And is it a good thing to let him jump it, or is it not?
A battery this size, probably not.
Okay.
It's just when you have a much bigger battery than that, the current could end up damaging the management system in here.
Okay.
And when it gets damaged, you might not be able to pull anything from it after that.
Ew, okay.
That's the only thing. It just has to be somewhat similar sized battery.
So car to bike, no bueno.
Not recommended.
Bike to bike, no problem.
No problem.
Okay.
For that parallel reset method I was talking about, though, you can use a car battery as long as it's just to reset the BMS.
Gotcha.
Not jump start it with a much bigger battery like that.
And even if that same truck, you jump started it, the motor wasn't running, you were just using the battery static, that still could be an issue if you went...
Sorry, one more time?
Yeah. If you were, if we were jumping from that truck, the fictitious truck that was there, a lot of times guys will jump and leave the vehicle running. That's jumping.
Right.
But we turn that off, so all we have is now a truck battery
just a battery
sitting there.
battery.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Same problem. Okay, same issue. That could happen. It's just the size of the battery is the issue.
Right.
Okay.
Thinking about, it's best to just do a somewhat closer, similar.
And I've heard that universally with motorcycles and cars jumping them.
Oh yeah, same
I've just always, that's what I've always heard is that's a no-no.
Yeah.
And what you're saying is that's based off of just size.
It's just size, because absolutely. And like I said, the main thing is it'll just damage the electronics that amount of current. So, but other than that,
I've never had to jump it.
No, and you shouldn't have to if your charging system is like you say. And I mean, you're going to be riding probably almost every day, I'm guessing.
Got it. Yeah, and I've got nothing. I've got it wired to where the key turns everything off.
Yeah,
and we don't pull from it.
You're going to be just fine.
All right.
No problem at all.
So,
orientation. If
you were a salesman and you were going to upsell me today and say, "Hey, listen, Gen 2 is out. What's in Gen 2?" That's
the main. So what we've improved is just those protection features, and I guess the main thing is just having them react a little faster. We just kind of fine-tuning the battery management system, the programming itself. The cell packs, we've even added more redundant safety features just to give people that peace of mind where we have ceramic separators between those cells. So if one were to go in thermal runaway, it will not affect the rest of the pack.
You'll have something left even if you lost one.
Right. Well, I mean, still wouldn't want to use it because the thermal runaway, it does get a little hot and the case will warp a bit, but
just improvements on Gen 1.
Yep, exactly.
And so let me last one. So you've tested this, you've seen it.
Yeah.
I'm about to go around the world.
Yeah.
2+ years, maybe 3, many continents. It's kind of an open book right now. I'm trying to see, and I'm doing a build report for people on the motorcycle.
Yeah.
Would you feel confident taking this battery right now around the world?
God, yeah, absolutely.
All right.
No, it's pretty young still. I mean, 2 years of riding. I mean, charging system's working good.
Stowed indoors.
Oh, yeah.
My charging system is immaculate.
But then you're
good.
It
is perfect. 14.2 all day.
Perfect. Oh yeah, that'll last you longer if you were riding for 4 years or 5 years. So, no, it sounds perfect, and I put my full confidence that you'll be good to go.
All right. Well, keep your cell phone next to you.
Well,
right on. Cool. That's it here for the tour of their shop. Thank you, Logan.
Yeah,
appreciate it.